Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Coming up in just about 10 minutes, one of your last chances to win tickets to comedian Sam Morril at the Chicago Theater in Klash with Kenzie. You just got to beat Kenzie in trivia. But first, what a night in sports.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Cubs come back from that loss, and we'll report a little bit more on the guy that fell in the deck at PNC Park. But the Cubs won and dominated the rubber match against division rival the Pittsburgh Pirates, 8-3. Propelled by not one, but two home runs from Seiya Suzuki. There was actually three in one inning because you had Dansby, and then you had Kyle Tucker getting his eighth. I believe Dansby had his sixth home run of the season, his second of this series, and then Seiya getting two in the game, by the way. But then also it went Dansby, Kyle Tucker, and then Seiya Suzuki. And here's what Seiya sounded like the third in an inning.
Seiya drills it left field and deep. It is back, and it is gone! Seiya says see ya for the second time today.
Oh!
This one a two-run blast. Seiya red hot, so are the Cubs. They're up 5-2.
So, here's what's going on going forward with the Cubs today. I'm getting emotional about those three home runs.
I know, you're a Suzuki guy. You can't help yourself.
Big time. And by the way, that never allowed three home runs in a game was Paul Skeens for the Pirates. That's Livy Dunn's fiance, by the way, if you keep track on social media of her, and then you realize she's dating him.
What does that mean?
Well, I think that's mean if I say she could do better.
What do you mean?
Well, he's a tremendous baseball player. Do you think he's good looking?
I think he looks very similar to me, so I'd hope that he's good looking.
I want to say it doesn't matter.
Does it matter?
Doesn't matter. Super successful. A lot of money. His face could look like a foot.
Well, he's pretty young. She probably has more money than him.
Oh, yes.
Right now because he's on a rookie, Major League Baseball deal. Now, he's incredible, and he'll get a $100 million deal if he continues this way. Mm-hmm. But because her social media, she's got to have more money than him.
I would say that's correct.
Kenzie, take a look at Paul Skeens. It's Skenes. See what you think. And he does look like Case, by the way. While Kenzie's looking that up, the Cubs bring the NL's highest scoring offense to the Evil Brewers tonight for the first time this season. Obviously, you can watch it on Marquee. And I thought it was a 6 o'clock game, so I figured it'd be a national game tonight. It's on Apple TV, part of their Friday Night Baseball package.
That's correct. And Kenzie, as we know, loves Apple TV, so I know she'll be watching.
I do love it.
I'm starting to believe that me and you, Case, are the only people that don't have Apple TV. Because everybody I've run into lately says, did you see this? It's on Apple TV. And I go, I don't have it. And they go, why don't you have it? I go, I don't know. I can't add something to the mix. I don't know. Right now, I'm just not prepared to do that.
You're very Kevin Hart the way my bank account's set up. That was very Kevin Hart of you.
So but that game's on Apple TV. But it's on Marquee Network for people that have that as well here.
Oh, I also love that.
So you see Paul Skeens yet?
Yes.
What do you think of him?
He's fine.
That's a Case line when he doesn't like something.
I'm not like, oh my God, we jump on him, but like, whatever.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah, she was certainly one of the most sought after girls on social media from many, many people.
In the world,
To be honest,
yes.
you don't want to date a guy who's too pretty, though.
Why is that?
Because you don't need a bunch of people, it's hard enough. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to date this gorgeous guy who people are like jaw-dropping. As a girl, you want to be the better looking one in the relationship. I don't want people thinking that like somebody's better looking than me in the relationship.
But don't you think the guy has the same problem with the girl being better looking than him?
No, because I think guys are fine with that. I think that you're used to like a girl like quote unquote getting attention. It's kind of like the natural balance, if that makes sense.
This fray may have been canceled, so dare I say.
Oh, brother.
Arm candy.
Oh, that's fine.
Is that okay?
Hey, you know what? Arm candy's woke. It still exists.
It's woke.
I mean, I think every girl, for the most part, wants to feel like when they go out that like you're hoping that your guy's like, I'm lucky to be in this situation. Like you want them to feel that way. You don't want one of those. I don't want to date some gorgeous guy where everyone's like, how'd you get him? Oh, get out of my face, bitch. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, but
no way.
But the opposite's true that you don't know from the guy's perspective, Kenzie, when they see a beautiful woman walk in with, the Paul Skeens type. That's mean. I shouldn't say that. He's not ugly.
Well, he's not. And you know what? They should check themselves. How much money's in your bank account?
Well, I think people would say that she must be with him for the money.
Not the science.
Because also as a girl, I think it's really hard being, this is going to sound weird, but a super successful or rich girl, like self-made, not like family money type thing. Because, okay, if you're like, say Beyonce with Jay-Z, what is she supposed to do? He cheats on her, right?
I don't know. Does he?
Well, he did. She made an album about it.
Missed that one.
So what is she going to do? Because a lot of guys who are rich are going to cheat. Was she going to take a broke guy? Probably not. Because like, that's just like, of course he's going to be with her no matter what. So rich guys dating like broke girls, they're like, well, at least my life's upgraded when he's cheating. But rich girls are like, where are we supposed to go? You're not upgrading my life. I want to be with somebody successful who like matches my energy, but like you're still cheating. They don't get like the benefit of anything.
Think about that for the rest of sports, people.
Sorry.
About who you're supposed to be with.
I think I would walk into traffic if I was Kenzie's husband, and she described it as, I don't want to be with a guy that's too good looking. I think I would find the closest moving bus and take a step in front.
Oh, good thing he's sleeping right now. He doesn't listen to the show either.
He doesn't listen to the show.
All right, let's get to the White Sox. Southsiders narrowly avoided disaster in the top of the first, as with bases loaded and 2 outs, Brewers first baseman Rhys Hoskins, former Philly, drove the ball to deep center field with bases loaded. This is a highlight reel. This is absolutely amazing. Lewis Robert Jr. tracked the ball, leaped at center field at the wall just in time, robbed what would have been a first-inning grand slam. It was 0-0. This would have been the death knell of the game.
Lifted in the air to center field. Robert Jr. backing up, continues to go back, and what a catch! Let's go! La Pantera!
La Pantera! And then Lewis Robert Jr. later on, a 3-run double. How about this? Helping out the team. When you're healthy, it's nice.
I'm a big fan.
It's pretty
all
cool.
wide of the plate to left-handers.
Robert Jr. on a line to center field. Churio running, and it's going to be over his head. Taylor will score. Here comes my drop. Benintendi's right behind him. One after the other. The White Sox score 3.
8-0 against the evil Brewers. Thank you, White Sox.
You're welcome.
As the Cubs, of course, on Apple TV tonight in the Marquee Network. Cubs at the Brewers. Massive series, obviously, for all those reasons. By the way, Miguel Vargas also had a 3-run homer in the 6th. It was a dagger for the White Sox. They're now 8-23. People asking for me to do the map. I don't know if we have time. 8-23.
You want to do the math during a song?
Well, let me see here.
You want to take a second?
Hold on. I think I can do it. So that's 31 games. That's 31 games total. They've won 8 of those games. We're trying to calculate yesterday in the show.
You were trying to calculate.
I did properly calculate by even mathematicians hit me up later. I was correct in how I did this. So, trying to figure out the White Sox can break their record, which is the worst record in Major League Baseball history of only 41 wins. Are they on pace for that? After a great game, I kind of don't want to do it. I want to applaud the White Sox for what they did yesterday.
Well, they raised their win projection, I'm sure. They're probably set to win like 95 games now.
So 162 divided by 31 games is 5.2. They have 8 wins now. So it's 5.2 times 8. 5.2 times 8 is 41.6. They did that with 1 win. They now will beat their record. Come on, slow clap. That's it.
Can I say a really bad version of a stat because I forgot kind of what it is, but you guys may know and be able to finish it for me?
I can't wait to hear this.
I would love nothing more.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And you may have already said it, but I wasn't listening because I black out when you talk about it.
I understand. That doesn't hurt my feelings. It's fine.
But did you see that the Cubs and the White Sox are like leading or like the only 2 teams that have actually won by over 7 runs like in games? Did you see that stat?
So wait.
Like they have like the largest. Okay, I'm trying to like. It's a very weirdly worded stat, but like my husband was talking about it yesterday. Like, oh, go Chicago, like yes, like type of thing. But basically, it's like they have like the biggest win differential. Like when they've won the games, they've like demolished them. If that makes sense. Like the most games over 7 runs, like up on the other team type thing.
That makes sense because the Cubs have the best offense in National League.
But the White Sox, they're the 2 teams, the Cubs and the White Sox.
Can you verify that stat case on the White Sox? Your White Sox.
I'll translate.
Thank you.
The White Sox and the Cubs have both won 5 games by 7 or more runs this year. They're the only 2 teams in Major League Baseball to do that.
Oh, thank you.
But only 5 games, not overall for the average of the month, let's say. That's what I thought she was trying to say.
No, 5 times this season.
But they're the only ones who've done it.
7 runs is a lot.
I understand. And 5 games, out of 31 right now.
Hashtag go White Sox.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
312-591-8300. Call right now for one of your last chances to win tickets to comedian Sam Morril at the Chicago Theater. Compete against Kenzie in Clash with Kenzie. Beat her in trivia, and the tickets are yours. So call right now, 312-591-8300.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101. You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin. Q101.
Let's go. One of your last chances at comedian Sam Morril tickets for Chicago Theater, Saturday, October 4th, from our great friends Live Nation and Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Dennis, going for the tickets to compete against Kenzie. Dennis, ahoy, tell us something about yourself.
I'm 40 years old. I drive a dump truck for a living and have 6 kids.
6 kids?
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Getting it in. Busy.
My man.
Yeah.
Can you bring the dump truck by the house? Because Harper loves seeing those big dump trucks full of rock and sand and stuff.
Oh, I'm over out in Indiana, man.
It doesn't matter. I'm just asking you a question. Can you get over here?
Brian?
That's your problem, Dennis. I'll make it worse.
All the way out in Illinois and having to pay double tax.
Oh, boy. That's why the war is going on between Illinois and Indiana, for sure, right now.
No one's talking about it.
All right, Dennis, here we go.
Passport to get over there.
Wow, good one. Dennis is going to be fun, I can tell. All right, Dennis. First on the 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets something wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, Dennis.
Heads.
That's tails. Kenzie, you're up.
Bollocks.
Kenzie. I give him a point for using bollocks.
It's pretty good. Half a point at the very least.
Kenzie, question number 1. What building is at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? What building is there?
Is it like here?
I can't help you out. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Or is it? Oh, that's stupid.
I don't know what's stupid or not to you in your eyes.
Because I'm like, well, is it the White House?
It is indeed the White House.
Okay.
There you go. So Kenzie's
But I'm
got
like,
one.
what if it's here and that's really embarrassing?
It's the address of Q101. Yeah. Let's see. Back to Dennis. Who is Saturday Night Live's longest running cast member? What's his name?
Not Bill Murray, is it?
It's not Bill Murray. Kenzie, the longest running cast member on Saturday Night Live?
Keaton Thompson.
Keaton Thompson, still on the show, 2003 to now.
20 years.
He just figured it out to stay there and not leave because a lot of people leave and never hear from him again.
He's got a
Not
job.
Back to Kenzie.
That's right, 2-0.
Kenzie, what is it? It's back to Saturday Night Live in a way. What is the club called for people that have hosted SNL 5 times?
5-timers club.
5-timers club. Here you go. She's up to 3-0.
It's
Dennis,
very
real quick.
clever. It's hard to remember.
Dennis, what delightful drink is born from the passionate romance of fermented grapes?
Red Bull?
Red Bull is not right. That's a great answer. Good Lord, is that an awesome answer?
Horrible. I'm horrible at that.
I love
It's
him.
a very fun worded question from Case. What delightful drink is born from the passionate romance of fermented grapes?
I would say wine.
Wine. Yeah, Dennis, you overthought it there a little bit.
Oh,
And wine gives you wings.
you really
It
you really
does,
don't want it for this.
actually.
So this is for the win now for Kenzie. She can go 5-0 here.
That's correct.
Kenzie, other than Colorado, name a state that the Rocky Mountains are located in. Rocky Mountains. A lot of mountains.
Somewhere mountainy near Colorado. I'm going to go with Utah.
Utah is right.
Okay.
Oh, man. A shutout. Look at that.
Sorry.
Sorry, Dennis.
It's all good. Great playing with you.
Now, he might bring the dump truck over so Harper can see it. Kenzie, do you want to, maybe it's Friday, give him the tickets anyway?
Well, yeah, but I'm going to give him the tickets regardless if he shows up at your house with a dump truck or not. Is that contingent on that?
God, you're a terrible negotiator. God. Dennis, it's Friday. We're going to give you the tickets anyway, okay?
Oh, that's awesome. Appreciate it, guys.
Sam Morril, Chicago Theaters, Saturday, October 4th. Tickets are on sale now, but they're selling fast from our great friends Live Nation and Q101. And if you love free stuff, less than a half hour away from 8, Fest, one of your last chances to get to the Boston Calling Music Festival, a VIP trip free, and Riot Fest tickets, 8 o'clock this morning with Brian and Kenzie.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. That Franz Ferdinand, of course, veterans of Q101's Twisted Christmas. And speaking of incredible Q101 experiences through music, we announced Picnic yesterday at 10 a.m. Q101's Picnic at the Taste of Randolph. We'll give you the whole information, all of it again. We'll recap it for you in about 10 minutes because it's going to be outstanding as it was last year in the reinvention, if you will, of Picnic. What a time. So we'll go through it, the bands that are performing, times, place, everything coming up in about 10 minutes. Then, of course, at 8, we have your chance to go to Boston Calling Music Festival, a VIP trip. One of your last chances at that because it changes each week. We'll have a new festival, the Minnesota Yacht Club, next week at 8 o'clock. So we have that at 8 today. Plus, you'll qualify with Riot Fest tickets. Then,
Yes.
in honor of Cinco de Mayo, Case watched La Bamba, and he's going to review La Bamba at 8 o'clock. So that's all coming up. But in the meantime, we do Kenzie's Crimes at 8:20 on Tuesdays. But something that was alerted to us a little bit from a listener about stuff going on in Des Plaines yesterday, just to give a little bit of a precursor, just to make a point of it, what's going on, possibly a future full-on Kenzie Crimes episode. But Kenzie, what's happening in Des Plaines?
So I just want to talk about this. We had a listener text in yesterday, but I've also gotten an insane amount of DMs about it. And we do pay attention to these when they're highly requested, when things are popular. We pay attention to what comes in. So what's happening in Des Plaines is you may have seen these headlines pop up of officers digging up someone's backyard, which is not a common thing to do. That's definitely not for a speeding ticket, right?
Nope.
So I did look into it to see, is this something that I could do for Kenzie's Crimes happening on Tuesday, the new Kenzie's Crimes? There isn't enough information yet. I could have made it into one, but you'd be like, wah, lame payoff. So just to give a quick synopsis of what is happening, a very mini version of Kenzie's Crimes, the backyard is being dug up. The house has been taped off and is considered evidence, but it is for somebody who previously lived in the house, not current residents. The man who previously lived in the house is currently in, jail, prison for a laundry list of things. He did a lot of stuff. He did assault somebody, many things like that. Officers have said they're not looking for a body. They did say that.
Huh.
I don't know if they're just trying to calm people down and they are looking for a body. I don't know if they're genuinely not. Maybe it's a drug-related charge and they thought things were buried. So we don't know what they're looking for and exactly why they're looking. We do know that the person, what caused them to come there, is a man that's currently in prison who had previously lived in the house. So they have wrapped up the digging and looked for what they needed to. And we are all kind of patiently awaiting what they were looking for and what charges this leads to and what crime is it tied to. So once that information comes out, we will have an update. And if it's juicy enough and crazy enough, it'll also be a Kenzie's Crimes.
It's wild because I saw it on Fox yesterday, on Sky Fox, where it's the 100 block of North Warrington Road, which is right by Northwest Highway and Mount Prospect Road. And I imagine if you live in that neighborhood, you see all these police come up with shovels, they start digging. It's very unnerving to know and you think it's a body, no question.
Absolutely. And there was a woman who's like, it's freaking me out. Like, my kid walks to the bus every day. The bus stops right over here. I absolutely know why. Cops said that's not what they're looking for. So if it ends up being what they're looking for, they end up finding it. Maybe that was an accident. But they claim that it's not a body.
But they might find one just by mistake is what you're saying.
That'd be happening. Okay.
God, what are they looking for? That's so curious.
I know, because it is odd to unearth a backyard and then say it's not for a body. Of course, that's a natural instinct, but I'm not an officer. Who knows what they feel like is buried back there.
Yeah, well, we'll keep you posted. Obviously, Kenzie's Crimes, Tuesdays at 8:20 if it ends up being that, but right now, not enough juicy details in Kenzie's words.
Not enough, but I wanted to cover it because we got so many messages about it.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.